Man, that's a great question because my two daughters, we went to Washington, D.C. for the groundbreaking for the Martin Luther King Memorial on the Mall. And my daughter, Maya, which some people watching this may know and may not know Maya, she's 12 going on 13. And I guess if she at 13, she'd be going on 35. I found that she was on the computer trying to look geographically the trip from Chicago to Washington, D.C. And the one thing that stood out when we went to D.C. was when we went over to the Lincoln Memorial, and she actually saw the Lincoln Memorial, and knowing that it was on the back of the penny. You know, to be standing on something that you've been seeing on a penny, you know, is fantastic. And I think it's on the back of the $5 bill. Let me see. Yeah, on the back of the $5 bill too. Man, you know, she seen the $5 bill, the Lincoln Memorial, and I used to oftentimes tease her and say, how many heads is on a penny? And they would always say, it's only one head on the penny. I said, no, it's two heads on the penny, because if you turn the penny over and look on the back of it, and Lincoln is sitting in the Lincoln Memorial. And then also the movie The Planet of the Apes, the most recent Planet of the Apes, at the end of that movie, the guy landed in what looked like the Lincoln Memorial, but there was an ape up there instead of Lincoln. So I just got a charge out of the fact that we went to D.C., we went to the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, we went to the Korean War Memorial, she saw the White House, she saw the Capitol building, the Treasury building. A lot of these buildings is on money. And she was just excited. I was excited. That was maybe my third or fourth time in D.C., crossing the Potomac River, getting lost and driving in circles, because D.C. is designed where you go in circles, and we had a hard time getting out of D.C. and then going to Atlanta, driving to Atlanta, I think maybe last September. That wasn't a vacation, but just going back to Atlanta, and then she was able to identify geographic markers and things that she had seen. So I got a lot of excitement out of the vacations. And Mark's original question was about vacation. I just got kind of charged up about the fact that I was able to enjoy this experience with my child or my children. But vacations are good, especially when you take a vacation and leave. Could you imagine, listen closely, could you imagine taking a vacation, no cell phone, don't check any email, don't make any phone calls to anybody? I've had that experience, and you know what I found out? All those calls that was left on the voicemail, all those emails that were still in the inbox, all those things that were still on the desk, all those people that were trying to contact me, nobody died as a result of me not returning their call or returning their text or returning their email. It takes about 3 days to get in an environment. I would highly suggest that you try that. It will do so much for your spirit. It will give you so much peace of mind. You owe it to yourself. I've been watching people lately, a lady yesterday, roller skating on a cell phone. I'm watching a lady across the street right now at this park, walking the dog, talking on a cell phone. 10 years ago, people didn't talk on the cell phone and walk the dog. What is happening is we've been bombarded with this technology, and some people are letting this technology control them to the point. Mark was talking about peace of mind. How you gonna have peace of mind if you on a cell phone, or you texting, or you emailing all the time? If you're gonna go along the lake, it's good to jog and listen to a little music. That's okay. But man, we owe it to ourselves to try to have as much peace and solitude as possible. And I know I kind of deviated when we were talking about vacation, but that's part of it. I have to re-emphasize, if you just tuned in, that if you take a vacation, no cell phone, no email, no texts, no calling back, checking on the office, and just ask yourself after about 2 or 3 days how much better you feel. You're not concerned about what's going on elsewhere. You can stay in the now. We're talking about that on the program. Staying in the now. Stay in the now. Don't let people interfere with your now experience. Because if you really look at it, your now experience is one of the greatest experiences you can have, because when you're in the now right now, like I'm talking to you, it's nothing really going on that's pressing, that's critical, that's severe. There's no anxiety. My emotions are at a nice ebb. Now, if I was in a burning building, I wouldn't want to be in the now, right now in a burning building. I wouldn't want to be in the lake drowning in the now. I wouldn't want to be on a plane and it was crashing in the now. Basically, and this just came back to me, when we take a look at the now, remember, yesterday is history, tomorrow's mystery. All we have is just for today, right now. The benefit of that is that we can have some control over rewinding the tape or fast forwarding the tape to get a preview of a coming attraction, because when we go in the future is nothing more than a preview of a coming attraction based on our imagination. And we are the creators of our future, and we create our future in the now, because you have to remember, right now used to be the future, and then in a few minutes now is going to be the past, or it's going to be history. It gets real deep. So you keep moving along this continuum. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Every day is 3 days in one. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I remember when I was in grammar school, when the closer I got to Friday, the higher my anxiety was, because I knew that it was spelling test day, and I was not a good speller. So I used to always say that Friday is the tomorrow that I feared yesterday. Friday is the tomorrow that I feared yesterday. And then when Friday showed up, the spelling test just wasn't that bad. Fear is the false illusion appearing real. We have to learn how to eliminate fear from our lives. That's very important. Everything that I'm talking about are those things that I have practiced in my life, and I try to make progress. I'm not trying to be a perfectionist anymore. That caused too much chaos and confusion in my life. My expectations of myself and others at an all-time low. It keeps a lot of stress and serenity in my life.